because you are human existence.
I believe that we are creatures not of bodies. I think we are expressions of life, we are expressions of spirit, and that we are not chained by gravities, by walls, by limits.
Okay, Revolution Radio, here we go. It is Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is time for the Quantum Leap Show. Let light unite with our goddess spiritual warrior, Cathy Bilsky.
Well, aloha, everyone. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap. So I've got a really cool guest coming on tonight, and this is a healing show. Chris Keller's going to be on, and Chris is a very, very famous healer, quantum energy practitioner, healer who specializes in finding the trouble areas in the body and stressors within that area by using many different modalities. And he's going to do some group energy healing work tonight on everybody, if you agree. And if you are looking for an individual healing, well, give us a call. And, of course, this is a night I don't have the numbers out in front of me. But I think if you go to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com and look around, you can find their chat box. And my producer, Keith, is kind of watching that chat box. And if you have a message, or, again, you can give us a call, and you can talk to Chris very shortly. So what I'm also going to do, because I don't know about you, I'm finding that people are acting really strange lately. What do you think? And people are just petty. They're getting angry at the stupidest things and causing trouble where, people weren't looking for any trouble. And it's not just me, but it's happening all over with many, many people. And, I've been doing a lot of prayer work because it's, when you go through that, and I guess it's what keeps life interesting, and then bring Chris on. I got to go and do something wonderful this weekend. I got to go to L.A. and watch my boys fight in the World Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Championships with his team. And I have to give a shout-out to the Pedigo. Wow, their Pedigo submissive fighting gym in Illinois. They came out with 2 first-place wins and a third place. Nice going, guys. And I have to say, I got to spend some time with these guys. And, really, I get to spend time with people that are buff and, working out all the time, don't do drugs, but really have a good sense of humor. Yeah, it was awesome. But, when you haven't been with somebody you really care about or seen in a long, long time, and I haven't seen my boys for a couple of years. And, when you get around people and haven't seen them for a while, it really doesn't matter what you go through, does it? Just as long as you're with them. It just shifts everything, no matter how negative it is. You're still together. And what a gift that is. So, really take a look at the people around you and realize, what a precious gift you're being given. And go give them a hug and love each other. Now, I had to fly from Hawaii to Los Angeles, and then I only spent 4 days in Los Angeles, and then I flew from L.A. to San Francisco because they don't really like you to have direct flights coming back, I guess, which to me was a mistake because when I come back, I was flying in very high radiation, as we all are, and I don't know if you fly, have you noticed yourself getting sick after you've flown? Well, if you've thought about where it comes from, it can come from people in the cabin, what they're choking and hacking. But remember, Fukushima has not stopped. And that's the nuclear, oh my gosh, radiation that's going into the air from Japan. And it's just gotten worse. So flying is not what you call flying the friendly skies anymore. Now, I flew one way, and I was really fine, and then I came back, and I said I should not have gone the way of San Francisco, but, learn by doing, because you were flying right in the radiation with the jet stream. And when I fly, I also wear a mask, a painter's mask. Again, you don't know what you're breathing when you are in an airplane other than it's recirculated air. So I'm probably the only one on the plane that wears one, but I went to my hardware store and I said, I need some kind of protective mask, and they showed me a really cool one that's got this little breather in front of it and a little regulator, and it's like only $8. Probably on the mainland it would be a little bit cheaper. And she said to me, the woman at the hardware store, this is what everybody in Japan's wearing. And I went, sold me. If it's good enough for everybody in Japan, I'm good with it. So, yeah, I wore it. And when I get on the plane, we start going in the air. I put on my mask. And the only time I take it off is actually when I'm drinking something or I'm going to eat. And that goes right back on. And nobody ever says a word to me other than, gosh, where do you get it? What kind is it? And then, of course, we do get into the reasons why I'm wearing it eventually. And they just, like a light bulb goes on. And it's like, and they come out and tell me, wow, I am going to do that on my return trip back. You think? Duh. So now after I came back, I actually had some kind of rash on my chest, which I'm cleansing now. And the next day, now this is also spending 4 days in smoggy, polluted Los Angeles area. This is not Hawaii, so I'm not used to breathing that kind of air. And I could feel myself starting to come down with, I would say, walking pneumonia. You know how it feels when your lungs start to go and they start feeling heavy, and then you just don't feel good. Your energy starts to go. And, I can't go down. I own my own business out here in Hawaii, and I don't have a lot of people that are like me that can take my place. And thank goodness I am very well of all kinds of different healing modalities. And in this case, because I knew it was for my lungs, and I've gone through this before, I went out and got out my bottle of vitamin D as in dog 3. And I took a shot glass full last night, shot glass full this morning, and it knocked me out. It knocked that condition out of me, and I was healthy again. And I couldn't help but thinking, my goodness, if other people really didn't realize how much radiation in the air, and so many people don't, even out here. They get off the airplane and then they go, oh my God, I got sick. Well, yeah, probably, especially if you don't take any precautions when you fly. So, Hawaii is a very, very safe place to be. I know people out here that have Geiger counters, and our, rads are very low, and probably because we do energy work, and if you want to look at it as magic, either way it works for me, and it works for everyone out here. So it's a very healing place to come to. But I would strongly urge, do not go by way of San Francisco, and try the more southern routes. Either go LA route or even go farther, going from Phoenix, and come across that way. The radiation is less. And of course I do that, and then I have my little bottle of Z Natural, and I've talked to you about this a few times and how it really helps you detox. And I put some on, before I got on the plane, and as you just take drops, and I took 10 drops after I got off the plane, and I really felt pretty good, considering, no jet lag or anything like that. And I would really encourage everybody, to find some way to detox, look for a program, ask your healthcare practitioner. If you know a nutritionist, go to the health food store. This particular way, it's incredible, I found, and it also helps me, my body absorb all those vitamins and minerals that I need now to stay healthier. So if you want to get that, and if you do give them a call and say my name, Cathy, you'll get 20% off, and give them a call at 1-800-770-2969. And for those of you that have not been to my website, I really encourage you, and it's angeliteom.com, and I have all kinds of healing tools that are made out of rock stones, angelite crystals, minerals, and it's a really easy way to help your body release that pain and stress, and they glow in the dark because I put plankton in it, not from the radiation, okay? In today's world, it's really important to know what is glowing around you, yeah? But what it does with the plankton being in my tools, it's absorbing light. So it's always recharging and regenerating. And if you take one of my massage tools that glows in the dark and holds it while you do your prayers, not only will it amplify your energy work, but you'll make them glow from all the energy that's going through your hands. Now, really, how cool is that? I have taken glow back from the little kids. So, you big kids, you can have some really wonderful, mutually beneficial experiences with healing each other. Let that little kid in you come out and make yourself feel good. And my tools, by the way, will last 75 to 100 years. Now, how many people can say their products will last that long? Unless your little baby takes it and bounces it off the cement floor. Okay, now, but then again, if you took the pieces and glued them back together, it would still work. When there's no light, it glows. Some people even use my tools for night lights. And you go to my website at www.angeliteom.com. You can also check out, I have a free book, The Beginner's Guide to Working to Spiritual Basics, and actually you can get that for free, like I said. And you can also download my curse removal energy balancing, and you get that under free healing, and you can download that for free. Do it for yourself, do it for others, your family, and we're going to get to that in a minute. And then you can also get my other book, the Guidebook of Spiritual Basics, and it's also a beginner's guide to working with the crystals, the angelic realm, practical application of divine love, working with that. And it has all kinds of special quantum leap energy power prayers for beginners that can really help the world quantum leap into divine enlightenment. And I have a guest writer, Roseanne Barr. You can get that at my website. It's only $6, very reasonable. And you get it, the ebook goes right to your computer. So let's do the energy balance and curse removal before we bring Chris on and get you all open and ready to really receive some healing from him. So everyone, if you can, sit down. Put your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your lap, palms up, and just start breathing gently. And take some deep breaths, but not so you hyperventilate on me, okay? And while you're doing that, I surround each and every one of you in a bubble of golden flame. I add to that the blue flame of protection, the violet flame of transmutation, the green flame of healing. I seal you in the pink flame of love. I call to all your teachers, guides, masters, invite them in and ask them to help us let this energy healing be very gentle, loving, and kind as we can make it. So take one more deep breath and exhale out everything that no longer serves you. Imagine it going through the violet flame back to God, and you start filling up with your divine essence. Now I want you to imagine this incredible divine healing energy coming down from God, and imagine it coming into your crown chakra and flowing out through your third eye. And now allow that divine energy that was flowing out through your forehead, flow down, and feel it come out of your throat chakra. And now let that energy flow down even farther. And now let it flow out of your heart. And now let that energy flow down even farther, and let that healing energy come out of your solar plexus. And now let that divine healing energy flow down even farther, and feel it come out of your belly button chakra. And now let it flow even farther, and let it come out of your sacral. Now allow that divine energy to flow out of your root chakra. Now allow all that healing energy to flow all the way down your legs. Let it go out your feet and send it into the earth. And now let it flow down your arms and out your hands, and let it flow down your spine. So take one more deep breath, and as you exhale this time, imagine yourself releasing anything dark or negative. And as you exhale, it just releases your body, goes through the violet flame back to God, and you again fill up with your divine essence. And as you're doing that, I call to Michael the Archangel to come forth and cut all ties to any energy you've taken on that's not yours, whether it's from a friend, relative, acquaintance, stranger, anybody you work with, TV set, animal, whatever the karmic reason is that created anything out of balance in your life for your body today. And as all that unwanted energies peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with your divine essence. And I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to reptile, dinosaur energy, secret societies, organized religion, cut all ties to any oaths, vows, curses, hexes, rituals that could have been done to you or your family, going backwards and forwards, hundreds of thousands of generations, or anything you could have done, consciously or unconsciously. And as all that unwanted energy too is peeled off of you gently like an onion skin, it all goes through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to any effigies that have been misused against you, and that's any elemental of yours that was used to hurt you, or anyone, including anything you own, clothes, hair, picture, your name spoken, written, just thought of, or anything you have your energy on. And as ties, all those elementals are cut, I call the violet flame through them to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We release all that unwanted energy back to God, fill them up with love, and I command them to be neutral or only emit love. And I want Michael to come forth, remove any energy implant that's being done to you, or anything that could have carried over from any other lifetime because of dark magic, voodoo, or dark witchcraft. So I want this stick, pen, needle, or knife that's in your crown chakra removed from your third eye, your throat, heart, solar plexus, belly button, root, feet, hands, spine, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hips, teeth, anywhere in your body that's out of balance. And as you feel all those pins, needles, and knives being very gently removed, imagine all those spaces immediately fill up with the violet flame to clean it up, the angel light energy to heal. We again release all the unwanted energy back to the Creator, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. Now I want Michael to come forth, cut all ties to patriarchy, genocide, rape, incest, slavery, prostitution, persecution, circumcision, removing any energy overlay that's trying to manipulate you, keeping you from connecting with God, healing yourself, being really successful, fulfilling all your divine missions, and living your life in joy. And as all the unwanted energies gently removed, that's keeping all these wonderful things from coming to you, we also send it through the violet flame back to God, and you fill up with more of your divine essence. And if there's anybody out there that's sending you any kind of dark energy, whether it's through just intent or dark magic, dark witchcraft, voodoo, I ask them to stop, because and if they're doing it to you, they're doing it to others. I ask them to step forward in the light and stop doing their dark work, and if they choose to continue, which is really their free will, I do ask their higher selves and their guardian angels to put them in a position of harmlessness now. I surround them in a bubble of mirror. The mirror faces them. It's 2 inches from their nose, and as long as they do their dark work, that energy stays contained in the mirror. But I also put the violet flame in this bubble so it transmutes any of that energy so they have no forward movement. And I want this bubble of mirror to stay up 24/7, 365 days a year until they do works of good. Then it'll be gone. Now I ask everyone's higher self now that to activate your divine blueprint for perfect health, the one that you came in on, and let it activate in your body now. So now I want you to just breathe gentle. And as you're gently breathing, I'm going to ask that you allow all this energy to integrate in a very gentle, kind, loving way with all your cells, your atoms, your molecules, all your internal organs, going all the way down into your DNA. And with every breath now, feel yourself becoming very grounded, very centered, very back in body. Again, very centered. And again, just take one more breath, and as you exhale, imagine again all this energy just integrating. Awesome. I hope that was as good for you as it was for me. Everyone, I hope you have called the White House, and if you haven't yet, complain about nobody doing anything about the nuclear drama in Fukushima, Japan. The White House number is 202-456-1111, and I'm sure they would just love to hear from you. And, not only call the White House, but call your representatives and let them know that you know it's going on and you know that they're ignoring it, and it's not acceptable behavior. People are dying from this. And if they don't talk about it, papers aren't talking about it, that means you are not protecting yourself enough from radiation. So, look it up. Start doing your own investigating. It's out there. Just look up Fukushima. The radiation, nuclear explosions, it will tell you everything. And then, do your investigating on what you need to do to stay healthy. It's important nowadays. It's not like we were living 20 or 30 years ago when this is not an issue. Radiation is an issue today. So, please be very, very conscious and aware and take some action, for you, your health, and your family's health. So, hey, Keith, how you doing?
Well, I had to unmute there, of course. I'm doing much better, thank you.
Yeah, is it hot in sunny Arizona?
Yeah, it's only 100 degrees or so.
Oh, my God. See, another reason to come to Hawaii. It's only 80, mild, and you get the ocean breeze, and you get to swim with the dolphins. How cool, huh?
I would like that.
Well, let's bring Chris on. I know he's hanging out there.
Alrighty, let's bring him on right now.
Do 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 do. I didn't think you were there, Chris.
Wow. How nice. How nice. How nice.
I'm getting better at that song. One of these days I'll get real music. Well, let me introduce you because you are just an amazing man, I will say. Chris retired in 2007 from the printing and newspaper industry, and after he did, a door opened which would lead him into the world of energy healing, and realizing that his intuitive nature was more than just coincidence. Chris began taking courses in many different modalities, and to his credit, Chris has found great success and certification in dowsing, and that's using a pendulum, and we're going to get into all these modalities, okay? Radionics, which I love to have people work on me that know radionics. Healing applied with metaphysical tools, which I make. How cool is that? Quantum touch, muscle testing, applied kinesiology, foot bath detox, and live blood analysis. Chris has learned very quickly that when working with universal energies, one must think not just outside the box, but way outside the box. By this we mean that all possibilities need to be considered when working with a person's ill health. Yeah, what a concept. He doesn't have a narrow point of view on this, which I love. And again, not only are things like viruses and infections tested for, but also off-the-wall possibilities like entities, karmic debt, that's an interesting one, and how well your body is grounded to the earth are considered. And I have to say those are very, very important, and really people just don't address that very often. So he also works with frequencies and what's called stressors that can be neutralized by the use of crystalline metaphysical tools and radionics. Wow, Chris, you are too cool.
We have a busy day every day, let me tell you.
Yo. What was the very first healing modality you worked with that Spirit guided you to?
I started off with the foot bath detoxes. I met somebody in 2007 who does foot bath detoxes, and he also did muscle testing. So I did a couple foot bath detoxes. They were really neat. They pulled a lot of gunk out of your body. But then this fellow started showing me this thing called muscle testing. So a lot of people will use it by pressing on the arm, by holding a herb to their chest, to their heart, or something like that. This fellow used his fingers, and there was actually somebody within the city I live in Winnipeg, who teaches a course on it. And then it led me to working with radionics. It led me to working with dowsing, and it led me to working with metaphysical tools, and it took me to where I am today.
Okay, now we're going to go backwards because people are going to go, what the hell is a foot bath detox?
Foot bath detox, the way it works is you put your feet in a basin of water, and there's a mechanism that adds positive and negative ions into the water. So you're actually putting a little bit of electricity into the water. Of course, first thing you're going to think is, how come my hair isn't standing on end and I'm not smoking from the ears? There's not enough electricity to shock you. There's about 11 volts and 2 amps of electricity. So it's the ions that go into the water that go into your body. They mix with your body's own positive and negative ions. They cause a reversal of charges within your body, which repels toxins out of the cells, into the bloodstream, into the lymphatic system, and as it all pumps through your body and into your feet, because your feet are in the water, which is charged like a magnet, the toxins are going to pull out through the pores of your feet and accumulate in the water. And after a 30-minute session, there's a lot of brown gunk in the water.
I was just going to ask you what happens to the water. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty yucky.
So what would you recommend if somebody really wanted, you would recommend this for someone, really needing a deep cleanse?
Anybody who's trying to quit smoking, anybody who's trying to get off some harsh pharmaceuticals, anybody who works in a toxic environment where there's, let's say, a lot of solvents, like in the printing industry, or anybody who works in particularly the hair industry, hairstylists. You people, my heart goes out to you because, number one, I've got no hair, so I don't need you. And number two is because all of the chemicals that you work with, so many different chemicals that on a daily basis that you're inhaling all the time, to pull these things out on a weekly basis is just a beneficial thing.
Well, what do you put in the water also? Do you put, if somebody... Do you also use something that's not a machine, where somebody just puts their foot, in a tub of water to just detox?
The only other thing that I really know about is the patches you can buy. It's a copper patch. You put it on your foot, when you go to bed, and in the morning you'll wake up and look at the patch and it'll be all brown and gunky looking. So that's another way of doing it. But other than the foot bath detox, there really isn't any other way that I know of to get the same effect.
It's really, I've had it done before, people, and it is, and when you see the stuff that's pulled out of you, you just want to go, oh my God. And then, you know, when's the next time can I come back? Because I want this out. So you talked about dowsing, and you know, what is that? What's dowsing?
The method I use is dowsing with a pendulum. There's also dowsing with dowsing rods for people who are looking for underground water and that type of thing. There's dowsing. You've seen people on old movies dowsing with a willow stick. There's many different methods. Now, dowsing itself, when you're muscle testing, you are dowsing, okay, in a broad sense of the term. So the word dowsing, it just means a way of getting an answer from your spirit guides in order to proceed with what you're looking for. So my method of dowsing is a pendulum and also a set of charts that I developed that contain within it pretty much 90% of any and all concept of what a health problem or a spiritual problem can be.
Oh, can I get one of those?
If you say please.
Please, 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 please. Yeah, I again, I've used pendulums, especially when people come in and they ask me a question. And I found for me, what I'll do if somebody does that, I'll turn my back to them and I'll have my pendulum out, and then I'll have them ask their question very quietly, in their mind. And then I'll see which way the pendulum swings, and I can give them an idea on that. And then I'm taking out of it, and I know it's a real true answer. But when you douse for somebody's health, how do you do that?
I start off, first of all, by asking what question to ask, because ultimately when you're dowsing, it's all about the question. The question, in a lot of ways, is more important than the answer. If you ask the right question, you get the right answer. Anybody can douse and get the wrong answer. We need the right answer. So I've got a list of about 25 different questions to ask. Run-of-the-mill question, the default question is, where is the most resistance in the body? The next most popular question is, where is the lowest level of vitality in the body? Then you can ask questions like, where is an intruder? Where is voodoo? Where is a poltergeist? So sometimes you need to be direct with the question to get the right answer, because if there is a consciousness involved that you're trying to get rid of, that consciousness can in certain ways block you from finding the answer. So if you ask the direct question, universal law says it has to answer. So that's why I have a various amount of questions to ask. So if I ask the question, where's the most resistance, then I go to another chart and I'll ask, where's the most resistance in the body? And it'll give me an area. It'll tell me to look in the aura, the cardiovascular system, the reproductive system, wherever, the chakra system. When I look in the aura, okay, there's a lot of people who do energy work, and their training tells them to look in, 4 or 8 different bodies. I look at about 55 different bodies. I consider everything. Think outside the box. I look at all the different levels of consciousness. I look at the law of attraction. I look at the crystal body, all the manifestation areas of the body. I look within 4 different areas of the soul matrix. Okay, there's many, many different areas that I look at. And if the area is not listed in my charts, it'll direct me to go to my letter chart, and my spirit guides will spell it out for me.
Oh, that's too cool. But one of the things you mentioned that you check for is karmic debt. You want to expand on that?
Karmic debt. Basically, if you believe in reincarnation, so we've all had a past life. Some of us had many past lives. I think I've had about 30 or so. If you're an old soul and you've been coming back time after time after time, in a past life, you may have done something wrong. So let's say you're married and you found out that your husband was cheating on you, so you put arsenic in his food and killed him. You both die, you go to heaven, you reincarnate, come back, and if he's still on the earth as a spirit, he's going to hunt you down and say, okay, now it's your turn, and he's going to get into your body and start causing some problems. That's your karmic debt. You need to pay him back karmic debt.
Wow. Okay. Didn't quite look at it that way. That's
the way I look at it. And everything that I find, a lot of it does contradict with a lot of, let's say, teachings that are out there. But everything that I've learned directly from my spirit guides. I haven't really taken any courses or had anybody teach me a lot of this. I do have somebody who gives me a lot of suggestion and points me in certain directions. But everything I find on my own, and I find that it holds a little bit different of an energy when you do that because it's 100% innocent.
Well, when I said I haven't heard that spin, I really like that new possibility and new direction that you gave me to look at. That's what I meant. And when I heal people, it's like, something that it needs to be considered also.
It doesn't mean a typical type of problem is there all the time. It's just a possibility within an endless amount of possibilities.
Well, what about family debt?
Family debt, yeah.
Or maybe ancestors.
There can be ancestor past pattern. There can a curse that runs within an ancestral lineage. There's a lot of different things that can be involved with that. And absolutely, especially if somebody is connected with the Illuminati.
Ooh, what's the Illuminati?
So it's a bunch of stinking rich people who think they're better than anybody else. Okay.
That are a tendency to be a little satanic.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative energy that revolve around. It's like a club. It's like they are in charge of a lot of different things. There is a very big satanic energy along with the Illuminati and with a lot of other different societies. We're not going to get into those societies. There's so many, but there's a lot of good ones too. I have done some work on some people, some actual people who've been in movies and their families have a big part of the whole Hollywood scene within TV shows and movies, and have found that the connections that are with the Illuminati go very, very, they are within the lineage of a family. There are connections that I find within them that are not typical of people who are not within the Illuminati. So there is a bit of a difference in energy with them. Like people who are trying to get out of the Illuminati, they know they're part of it and they're spiritual and they want out of this thing. It's very, very hard for them to get out. There's so many different back doors and side entrances and trap doors to go through and look around to find all the things that are involved with an Illuminati connection.
I believe it. I hope you'll do some healing for us tonight also.
I think we're going to take my big pyramid and run some energy through the server. I do this quite often, and most of the time, people who are listening, either live right now or on a podcast, whatever energy I run, people are going to feel it, and generally it's a nice big tingle through their body, through their hands and arms if you're touching the computer. So, yeah, we're going to do that, and we're going to have some fun.
Do you want to do that the second half of the show? I think that would be nice.
Yeah, let's do it the second half. That way we can build things up a little bit and create a little bit of mystery behind it.
Ooh, okay. So you talked about muscle testing, and you want to really explain that a little bit more.
Well, muscle testing is, most people know it by holding your arm out and you hold, let's say, a herb or something that you want to test your body for and see if it's good for you. And you press on the arm. If the arm goes weak, that means that it makes your body weak. So then you know you want to stay away from that product. Muscle testing, the way I learned is by pushing on my finger. With one finger on top of another, pushing on it instead of pushing on the arm. Because your arm can get pretty tired after a while. So there's a lot of people who also do what's called the body pendulum, where they hold something to their heart, and they'll if they lean forward, it means that it's good for them. If they go backwards, it means it's bad for them. So muscle testing is a very good way to determine if a certain supplement is right for you. Anybody can go into a supplement store and buy whatever they want off the shelves. Now, this is not such a good thing. It's really good that we have the liberty to do that nobody's restricting us from buying whatever we want, but are you buying the right thing? I know people who take 30 and 40 different products a day, and I just look at them and shake my head and say, you know, I'll take your money instead, and I'll heal you instead of you taking all this crap. So if you can muscle test or at least know a certain way within your body, and one way of muscle testing that a lot of people don't know about, it's called thinking heart-mind. So instead of thinking with your head and your logic, is this good for me, feel it in your heart. Does it feel good in your heart to have this product? So if you think with your heart over your mind, you're thinking heart-mind. And that's another way of muscle testing.
I think that's beautiful. I hope more people, he's throwing out some really lovely, easy tools to use, and give it a try. It's not going to cost you anything, and you might have some really joyful experiences and really learn what's good for you and what's not good for you.
Now, I do want to touch on something about muscle testing, and this is what I find a lot as a flaw within it, is that a lot of people will come into my office and they'll, oh, well, I got this product, and look, they'll take one of my products off the shelf and say, oh, this is bad for me, I can't have this. And I'll look at them and say, just a minute now, hold on. I'll look at them and say, correct the polarity within this person's body. And then I'll say, okay, test it again. And then it'll be good for them. If your polarity is off, your muscle testing is going to be backwards. So that's something that is very important about muscle testing. Also, grounding is another very, very important thing, to make sure that your energy, your electricity is flowing properly so you get the right answer.
You have a few techniques to help people ground.
There is a couple of very good ones that I use specifically. There's three different points within your body that need to be connected in order to be truly energetically grounded. Of course, there's standing on the ground in your bare feet, way to ground. There's also envisioning the roots coming out of your feet, but we don't have roots, so that might work for some people. The best way for grounding, number one, is the zero chakra. Okay, we all know about the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, all the chakras in the body. But there is a chakra that's located 1 foot below your feet. I call it the zero. Some people call it the eighth. That chakra has to be in alignment and in balance with the rest of the chakra system. That is a grounding chakra. And quite often that could be off in the aura somewhere and not balanced. So if you can balance that chakra and include it within your balanced way you do things, then it's going to come in and it's going to help a lot. There's another grounding point within the root chakra that connects to the core of the earth, and that is called the Vivaxis connection. This is a connection that is created 6 weeks before you were born. Wherever your mother is standing at that point in time, a connection is created between the fetus and the earth, and that is your Vivaxis, and that follows you wherever you go. Now, quite often, when certain types of traumas, certain types of illnesses, different things can happen to break that connection. And you can easily reconnect that Vivaxis just by intending it, just by telling it to happen. But you have to know, of course, is it truly unplugged? Is it plugged somewhere else? You have to look at a few different things, but ultimately, if it is unplugged, just intend to plug it back in, and then you will be grounded completely to the earth, okay?
Okay, does that mean, because I was born in Michigan, I am forever grounded to that state? Can't I move it to Hawaii?
You can do anything you want, Kathy, okay?
Yay!
Yes, you just need to intend to move it, okay? But first of all, you need to find out, is it within your higher good to move it? So if it is okay to move it, go ahead and move it. It's not that big of a deal. And, you can easily do that with your own tools. You can do that yourself. You just have to envision it. It's always better to have somebody else do it for you, and because you need to envision where you want it planted and that type of thing. So, yeah, it can be done.
Yay! Okay, not saying I don't really resonate with Michigan anymore, but what do you think?
Now, the third way that I've discovered as within the last 8 months or so of grounding is your ground to heaven. So what this is, within the hypothalamus of your brain is an area called what I call the well of souls. Some people call it the seat of souls. This is an area where your soul is connected to, and this connection goes to heaven. In a lot of cases, and I have found that a lot of people who've suffered severe concussions, people who are going through a lot of depression, people with lots of anxieties and addiction and mental disturbances and lots of melancholy, things like that, this connection has been broken also. Doesn't mean your soul is gone, you don't have a soul. It's just the connection is not there. It's just like having a bad connection on your computer. It's on and it's working, but you're just not getting the right things to do that you want it to do. So by reconnecting this, just making the intent to reconnect the well of souls within your body and then connecting your soul to the well of souls, connecting the well of souls to heaven, that is another big grounding possibility that really, really helps in a lot of ways.
Oh, I love that one. And I talk often about helping people reconnect to the Creator. And when people are mean and dark and angry and spiteful, and I just look at them as, you're really not connected to the Creator, because if you were, you wouldn't do that stuff.
Oh, you'd certainly think twice about it anyway.
And how you act on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're connected. All right, so you've got, what's quantum touch?
Quantum touch is kind of a sister modality to Reiki. Lots of people know about Reiki. Everybody's uncle is a Reiki master. You see a lot of them out there.
But you got to go back and explain what Reiki is.
Reiki is you put your hands on the body and you intend spirit energy to come in and to do healing. So it's hands-on body work. So it's running God energy, quantum energy, 0-point energy, whatever you want to call it, through your body into the person needing a healing. And quantum touch is just a kind of another way of doing it. It's another philosophy. It is something developed. The fellow's name was Richard. I forget his last name. A different way of expelling the energy out of your body into somebody else. I took quantum touch in order to try and understand the things that I was doing. When I was using my radionic device, and we'll get into that one in a bit, I found that instead of using the radionic device, I can become the radionic device, touch somebody's area where they have pain, make the adjustments in my radionic device in my mind, and all of a sudden their pain would go away. And I didn't know what was going on, so somebody suggested to take some kind of course to understand how energy moves and what it's all about and how it feels. So that's why I did quantum touch, and it was very interesting. It was eye-opening.
Yeah, you learn all that, and then when you get into healing, you forget it all, and you go into what I call unconscious competence.
Yes. Yeah, you usually end up forgetting more than you know, and you just kind of retain what you need to. But you know what? It all comes back pretty quick. If I ever do need to utilize it in a pinch, it does come back pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Don't they do quantum touch in hospitals now?
I know I worked on a fellow in an Australian hospital with cancer, and I did actually speak with his doctor, and they said, oh, yeah, we do this stuff all the time. We call it supplement. And we welcome it because it works. I was almost floored to hear a doctor in a hospital saying, yeah, bring what you got. Let's help these people. It was really interesting.
I bet. It's very hard, as I found, to find a doctor that will work with me. And I say they all become Egyptian and go down the river denial. And I have to say, I finally met a real doctor here in Hawaii that agrees with me on healing people, body, mind, and soul, who has actually sent people down to me for me to do some of my spiritual work with, which, is mind-blowing. You just want to go, oh, my God, I want to make, put you in bronze or make you gold or something, or how can we make more of you and clone you?
Well, the more we look around and talk with people, the medical community is waking up to the whole fact that there is more to doing healing than just pills and going to specialists and sending people all over the place. I know in Europe it is very big. You have to learn about herbs and become almost like a naturopath to work in the medical system there. There's a doctor I did some work with in Arkansas, David Foscue. This fellow is trying to develop a system to remove all of the distraction within the medical system. So he's developing a computer program to make things a lot quicker for patients to get in and out of appointments, to get to appointments, and shorten the wait times. So himself, just by doing that, is making a big quantum leap in the world of trying to get somebody a healthy result.
Yeah, I'm amazed, truthfully, because here, in our country, they're just pill pushers.
Yes.
And I think they have to change because people don't want to be part of that healing modality anymore. Ooh, who's making noise? Sounds like a rocking chair.
That is not me, that's for sure.
Okay, it's not me. So by elimination, okay, it's gone. Okay, I won't mention you, Mr. K. Okay. I think, okay. Yeah, see, a little bit of thing just throws me off. Why do you do live blood analysis, and how easy or how hard? Is it costly?
I got into live blood analysis because what you can do with energy is you can make a change within the body, and you can actually see something happening within the live blood analysis itself. You got a sample on a computer screen. Yeah?
Chris, we're going on break.
Okay.
You don't go away. We'll be right back, everybody, and Chris is going to do a big group healing.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Transcending time and space, let us take you to the place inside your mind where thoughts divide and mysteries unwind. Join us every Monday evening right here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And you will catch the Fenton Perspective with our great host, Lorian Fenton. Come listen in as she shares her amazing stories from the past to present, along with all of her guest secrets to the future. That's the Fenton Perspective every Monday evening right here from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Revolution Radio. Oh, and you don't need to expect us. We're already here.
At Chris Keller Holistic, we demonstrate real healing and real caring to your health issues and needs. Our solution for you is an alternative to the alternative. Our out-of-the-box treatment methods are aimed to your specific well-being and are quite different than most. Venturing down the realm of quantum energy healing, Chris uses unique modalities of healing, such as spiritual intervention with pendulum dowsing, sacred geometry tools such as the neutralization, divinity, and sun ring. Another tool Chris uses is a 5-tiered pyramid affectionately known as the Silver Light Pyramid to activate quantum activity within the body. Also, Chris Keller Holistic uses radionic technologies in various platforms with specific liquid mineral ionics to balance out excesses and deficiencies within the body. At Chris Keller Holistic, our goal is to get tangible and measurable results in the least amount of time possible so you can carry on with what's important in your life. Another advantage to this unique energy healing is that it can be done at a distance healing session. So location is not a barrier and can be done conveniently at your home, office, just about anywhere through Skype or telephone conferencing. Eliminate costly protocols, expensive monthly supplements, high-priced allopathic operations, invasive surgeries, and dubious medication applications that keep you trapped in a financial and health rat race. Get a specific, customized, out-of-the-box solution tailored for your health recovery. At Chris Keller Holistic, we are warm welcoming and want to put you at ease with your visit to us. Please visit www.chriskaler.net for further information as we welcome your questions and inquiries to starting this unique journey. At Chris Keller Holistic, we want to show you that we are the alternative to the alternative and the out-of-the-box solution to customize an answer for you to spend less and gain more in your high vibrancy journey. Visit www.chriskaler.net. Real healing and real caring to your health needs.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, the Quantum Leap, Let Light Unite, on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So we're talking to Chris Keller, the awesome healer, about really a lot of different healing modalities that he's sharing with us tonight. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Cathy.
Hi. Oh, sorry. Well, now,
I'm here.
Now that we're in the second part, I wish people could get a visual of these incredible sacred geometry tools you have in your hands.
If people do want to see them, I do have lots of pictures on my website, chriskaler.net. Have a visit. Also on my YouTube channel, I do explain what the tools do, so you can just go on YouTube /Chris Keller, and I've got about probably 100 different videos that explain how these tools work, what they do, and a lot of my philosophies on different things.
Well, who makes them?
This is an interesting story. You're going to like this. There's a fellow in Alberta, Canada. His name is Wayne Haydos. His company is called Crystalline Incorporated. He makes the tools himself. He bends all the metal. He does all the welding. He gets the tools dipped in gold and platinum. His main job on the planet, he is, of 13 people who do this, he is the primary person who runs energy into the Earth grid to clear it of negative energy so the Earth can ascend into the fifth dimension. That's his job. What he does to make money is he makes these tools and sells them worldwide. So if anybody's interested in buying these tools for themselves or their own healing practice, they can be bought on my website. You can email me and we could see what tools you need. There are many other ones that are available other than the ones on my website.
Oh, I have to say, the one you got holding your hand, it's like 4 or 5 pyramids stacked on top of one another?
Yeah, that is my Silverlight pyramid. This is one that I developed out of taking many different pyramids, there's 5 different ones, and stacking them on each other at right angles. If you look at the bottom of it, you can see the Star of David. That's part of the sacred geometry of it. So the more you stack together, up to 5, it goes different layers deeper into the body. So this pyramid will go up to 15 layers deep into the body, which is very, very deep. And you can also intend it to go deeper if you need to. So that's one of the very unique things about the tools.
So now, have you ever held that over your head?
Every day.
Oh, you energy addict.
I clear myself almost every day with it. You know, as a healer, you got to be clear. So I always check to see if I have any attachments that came in overnight or anything, and I clear myself out.
Well, do you sleep under a pyramid?
Yeah, I have one that hangs over our bed. It's a triple pyramid, not the 5 pyramid. It's a triple. And you can see that one on my website, and it just hangs over, and we sleep under it, and it keeps us basking in an energy all the time.
Oh, yeah, I bet. And creating a pyramid chamber, I'm sure.
Pretty much.
Excuse me. Wow. Yeah, I'm really blown away by the tools. You want to do a healing?
Yeah, let's run some energy with it. Now, every time I do a radio show, I do this, and people do get a result. I've heard feedback from people saying that their tinnitus all of a sudden went away. Their arthritis in their ankle all of a sudden went away. So we're going to do 2 different specific things with this pyramid. I have it in front of me, and I'm going to hold it up to the computer and give it some intent. The first intent we're going to give is to remove some negative entities. Now, everybody has got a negative entity within their body. Some type of attachment, whether it's extraterrestrial, whether it's poltergeist, whether it's an earthbound spirit, whatever. Everybody's got something like that. So we're going to do that. Now, this is the way I do it for people all over the world when I do a healing session. I don't just do work within my office in Winnipeg. I also do this on Skype, on the telephone, and I got clients all over the world, Australia, Europe, Middle East, lots of people in the States because nobody wants to pay those high health bills. This is the way I do it, and what we're going to do, I'm going to hold this up to the computer right now, and I'm going to use an energy. We're going to use a violet bowl. What the violet bowl is a mixture of 2 different lights, violet flame and the blue flame, and this is designed to pull out entities out of anybody. So we're going to run the violet bowl through the show, into the server, and into everyone's computer. So if you're listening, put your hands on your computer. Touch the radio and you will be healed. So I'm running this energy right now, and as I'm doing this, you might feel a tingle. You might feel something going on in your body. Very subtle, but you should feel something. Okay, violet bulb, we're running the violet bulb to remove all entities within everybody listening. Okay, so it's still running, still running, still running. Okay, finished. Okay, now is there anybody in the chat room at all?
Hello, Keith. Hello.
Yes, there's no questions at this point, okay. Although I want to say I really felt that.
Yeah.
Chris, that was amazing.
Yeah, now the really cool thing about it, of course, this show is going to be podcast. It's going to be in the archives. The energy is going to stay in there. So anybody who listens to it on the archives is still going to feel the energy. So that's really cool about this. So now we did some clearings, just some general clearings. Now we're going to add some energy to do just a general healing of anywhere in the body that may need to be healed. So we're going to use something called the flame of the Swef. Swef is a word that my guides gave to me to describe the energies. This is a combination of the diamond flame and violet flame. So here we go. So we're going to run the flame of the Swef into the computer, into the server, and into everybody else's computer who is listening to do a general mass healing. Flame of the Swef to do a general mass healing of anybody who is listening. So if your hands are on the computer, you're going to pull this in. Even if you're not, if your hands aren't on the computer, you're still going to feel it. Okay, that's running. Finished. Okay. How did you feel? What did you feel?
Well, okay, when you first started the entity thing, I felt one leave, and to me, I know when dark entity's around, because I'll get this kind of like a butterfly sound in my ear, and I heard it, and then it was gone, so that was very interesting. And, I've tried to direct the energy where I'm really working on things, and now I can't talk. Go figure. Okay.
I'm going to tell you something, Cathy. Every time I do this, the host always ends up a little bit tongue-tied.
I'm tongue-tied. I'm losing my voice, dude. It made me choke. Okay. You got to talk, because right now I have to drink water.
When you get specific with it, like what entity is within the body and where is it, and then you do the same type of healing, you use the pyramid against the computer or over the person's head if they're in the office or on the phone. When you get really specific with it, it goes deeper and more precise into the body to pull out whatever is there. Same thing with a health problem. If you douse to find out you have a liver problem and there's a virus in the liver, well, what's the virus? Is it a herpes virus? Is it some type of H1N1? Or what is the virus? When you get specific and you make the intent and use this pyramid the same way that we just did, it gets really specific and it pulls out whatever's there at the quantum level, at the speed of quantum energy, which is instant. Many times when we do this with people, they do feel something different right away. It is instantaneous in its own little way, and then after 24 to 48 hours, you feel more and more of a result. This is something that I'm still getting my head around the whole thing, how it's working. All I know is it's working. I know what it's doing. The pyramid is working as an antenna and an amplifier for quantum energy. The intent is one of the big key factors when you're working this way. So you need to intend the right thing. If you intend the wrong thing, it's not going to work. So that's where the dowsing comes in so handy, is to know exactly what to do.
Well, let's go back and just touch base again and talk a little bit about spiritual entities. And you're talking also about aliens. And, how can that affect our human health? How can an entity affect our bodies?
It's an incredibly big component, more than what people know. Generally, whenever there is some kind of health problem and it's somewhat chronic, there is going to be some type of spiritual negative energy or attachment of some way, shape, and form. Most of the time, it's going to be some type of voodoo curse. Voodoo, black magic, shamanic spells, or witchcraft. I've done a lot of research on it, and that can be is as simple as a negative thought. If somebody is projecting a negative thought towards somebody else, and it's strong enough, and they do it often enough, that negative thought is going to create a problem within the person. Put this into perspective. So everybody has had a relationship. So a relationship will break up, and then the female component of that relationship won't want the male component to be sexual with anybody else. All of a sudden, this guy is starting to have problems in the bedroom, and he's looking at
all the guys are going, oh.
Okay. So all of a sudden, there's an issue, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? I'm 25 years old, and everything should be just fine. This is a prime example of a negative thought having an effect on somebody. A person comes in, you clear out that negative thought, send it to ether, and all of a sudden things are fine. I could tell you lots of different stories that I've worked on. People's businesses, everybody's in competition, so there's always a negative energy, a negative thought towards your business. All of a sudden your business is not doing so well. So you clear out that voodoo, that negative thought, and things can change really quickly. The same thing with your law of attraction, the secret. All of that can be affected. So there's one instance of voodoo as a negative attachment, and it can go all the way to the far end where somebody actually practices witchcraft, practices voodoo, and intentionally causes harm on somebody. And I have about 5 or 6 clients who are under a lot of stress in their lives because of this type of energy. So I've found that there's really not much middle ground to it. It's either really one or the other. And so it's non-intentional and intentional, and it can get very, very brutal on a person's health and their luck within the world.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
it can be generational curse, you know.
It most certainly can be a generational curse. Things can be passed along from family member to family member, all through the lineage. It just gets passed on. And this all comes like from thousands and thousands of years ago when people were actually practicing a lot of this black magic stuff and doing these types of things. There's a lot of families that had feuds. The Hatfields and the McCoys, everybody's families way back when would have feuds, and these negative energies would be passed back and forth, and if the intent is strong enough, yes, it will follow through the generations.
Oh, absolutely. So how do you guide people to protect their health from this negative energy?
First of all, you have to clear it out. So if somebody knows that they're being bombarded by all this negativity, you come in, we set up an appointment, and we go through every inch of your body looking for all these negative things. So we clear out any kind of negative thought projections or voodoo. We clear out any earthbound entities like a spirit that has not crossed over to the light, that attaches himself to you so they can experience life again. We remove any kind of extraterrestrial influences, and that's generally going to be reptilian, Zeta Reticuli, which is a little gray aliens with big black eyes, or archons. Those are the most well-known ones. There's a lot of others that I found that a lot of people don't know about that are out there, but those are the general ones that like to suck on your energy. They live on energy. We eat food, they eat energy. So when you sneeze, you let out a big sneeze, you're bursting out energy. But when you're having an orgasm, you're letting out big energy. And they're there to eat that energy. That's what they do. We clear all these things out. And then once you're cleared out, then you can be more protected because now everything is on the outside, not the inside. So there are a few different ways to protect yourself. There are different crystals that you can carry which do have a lot of purpose for removing entities. Stibnite is a very big one. There's hematite will work. There's lots of different ones. I'm not going to go through them all because there's too many. There's also things that I can do energetically. There's things that you can do energetically. You can envision yourself within a sphere of a mirror so that anything that comes at you negatively will reflect off of it and go back to the person. You can carry the violet flame within your aura. Just intend that the violet flame is there. So there's lots of different things that you can do. You just have to find what works for you.
And just let me share with people real quick, the violet flame is an incredibly high energy. Mm-hmm. And when you work with it, it erases cause, effect, record, memory of karma, and helps transmute dark to light.
Does many, many things. You know, if you make sure you use it the right way, you want to use it for the right things, and it will work. So that's why my guides have come up with the combinations of different things to get a more broader aspect of things, so they do work at a broader frequency range.
So again, if they wanted to come to your healing place, God, for lack of a better word right now, how would they find you?
It's very easy. Go to my website, chriskaler.net. Don't go to chriskaler.com. That is a different Chris Kaler. He does not do healing. He got chriskaler.com before I did, so I went with .net. And look at my front page. My email address is there, my telephone number of my clinic. I work in an actual clinic, an actual holistic healthcare center.
Oh, that's the word, clinic.
Yeah. Atta girl. So you can get my contact information. Pretty soon I'm going to be putting a program on my website where you can actually book your own appointment. You just click on the calendar and you can book your own appointment, and there it is. It's all done. And then I call you because you leave your phone number, and we just start doing the healing. If you are in Winnipeg, I'm sure you're not, you can easily come to the clinic and we can facilitate there also.
So you do a lot of phone work then?
I'm going to say probably 80 to 90% of all my work is done on the phone and Skype. The city that I live in, Winnipeg, it's very conservative, and a lot of people just aren't ready to open up their wallets to come in and pay $55 to have your health problem taken away when you can go to the doctor for free and live with it for the rest of your life. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but people can do what they want. They have their own free will.
Oh, God, sorry. You put that so well. Okay.
They don't call me Mr. Eloquent for nothing.
Okay. All right. So you want to do another healing for us?
Let's see. What can we do now? There are a lot of people that
Yes,
have...
there
There are. Many people. Stating the obvious again, Chris. Muscle ache, a lot of muscle pain. Especially as you get older, that you start to get cramping in your lower back, and things just don't work the way they used to. Things kind of seize up a little bit. This is generally because of two basic things. Number one, the biggest thing is a calcium buildup in your body. Now, calcium is probably one of the biggest killers out there. Now, everybody's thinking, wait a minute, I'm over 50 and I'm at risk of osteoporosis, and the doctor told me to take calcium. The big problem here is that it's not so much that you need to take calcium. You need to take something that is going to absorb the calcium into your body. Now, everybody knows about magnesium and vitamin D. Those are very big components for absorption, but the biggest one that everybody is lacking is a component of silica dioxide. The two foremost components that we are made up of, number one is carbon, and then silica dioxide. And most people, as you get older, you become deficient in silica dioxide. Now, silica dioxide can be found in a product called Diatomaceous earth, and we can get into that later if you like, but that is something that's readily available to anybody, anywhere, anytime, and it helps to absorb the calcium. So,
okay, let's get into it now.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to neutralize and eliminate all of the calcium buildup and calcium deposits in everybody's lower back muscles, because everybody's got a sore lower back. Neutralize and eliminate all of the calcium buildup, calcium deposits within the lower back muscles. Okay, so that's running. Finished. If you've been listening to this and your hands are on the computer or you're close to the computer, you may feel a tingle, you might feel a pulsing, and within a few minutes you might feel your back start to loosen up a little bit.
Does it count that I got the headphones on?
It does.
Okay, just want to make sure. Didn't want to overdo it. I'm a Leo. Now, tell us a little bit more about diatomaceous earth. Now, I've got a bag of diatomaceous earth that I bought for the ants and to keep the little bugs away. Now, is this the same kind diatomaceous earth you're talking about?
No, it is not.
Good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Diatomaceous earth is diatoms, which are ancient algae and different type of organisms like that. The fossils of them. The product itself looks like dirty baking flour. It has that consistency. Now, the unique thing about diatomaceous earth is that the molecule of it is almost the hardness of a diamond. So when you mix this in water and you drink it back and it goes through your body, it's going to cut up parasites. It's going to clear out your veins and arteries in your colon, kind of like sandpaper going through. It's going to do that. It's also going to add the silica dioxide, which is very high in, to absorb calcium into your body. It also contains other components like manganese and phosphorus and different things that we need for our bones and our muscles. So it's got a lot of good natural organic components to it. The silica dioxide is also really good for your skin, hair, and nails. So if you got weak skin, hair, and nails, you take the diatomaceous earth or the silica, and your skin, hair, and nails start to become more healthier looking.
Okay, you don't get this at the hardware store then, right?
Heck no. There's two different types. One is called food grade, which is the one you want to drink. Now, diatomaceous earth is used a lot in the making of filters. So they take it and they'll dampen it, they'll compress it into filters to move out components from pool filters. If people make wine, they use a filter. And this filter is made of silica. It's made of diatomaceous earth. So they use it in the filtration process of a lot of things in industry. They'll also use it within the farm industry to mix with grain so it doesn't become wet and clumpy. So there's a lot of different uses for it. Now, you can also use it to spread it on the ground in your house if there's ants that come in or spiders. When they walk over it, molecule is almost the hardness of a diamond. It will cut them up. It'll get caught within their joints, and it'll cut up their joints so they can no longer walk and they die. It's great for bed bugs. It's great for centipedes. It's great for anything that's creepy crawly to remove them out of your house. And it's 100% organic and natural. So if you got ants in your grass, put it on your grass. I just did that tonight. Instead of using boron and icing sugar that's going to kill your grass, this is something that just kill the ants where they are.
Right, but you're talking about the food grade, not the kind that you get at the hardware store.
That's right. You want to make sure you drink the food grade. That's very important because there's two different hardnesses, and if you drink the pool grade or the creepy crawly grade, it could do a little bit of damage to your body.
And that's not cool. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up because I've had people tell me about diatomaceous earth and all I could do is relate to the hardware store grade. And I'm going, no way, I'm not doing that. So, wow, I'm going to have to go. See, everybody, if you're looking for a parasite cleanse, it sounds like it would be a very easy way to clean the parasites out of the body. And I'm going to go to the health food store and check it out.
It is a very good way for clearing parasites. Farmers use it on their livestock for deworming. If you have cats and dogs, put a little bit in their food for deworming. Why go and spend a whole bunch of money that you don't have to if you can do it naturally, and you're also giving your pets something that's good for their health too. So you just give them like a teaspoon in their food, and they'll gladly eat it up, and it'll help to clear out any parasites.
Okay, now you said when we talked earlier that we could do a healing on anything I wanted to.
You say the word. You say the word.
He goes, uh-oh. Okay, so what I was thinking for all those men and women out there that are looking for their divine mates, can you do a little bit of healing that would clear out those blocks that's keeping all these, people from finding each other?
Yes. Let me think about that one for 1 second. So what we'll do with that is we'll remove all of the veils preventing everybody from finding their soulmate. How does that sound?
And bringing everybody together.
Correct. Okay, let's do that. Okay.
The details, And they recognize each other, right?
Yes, dear.
Not that I've given this any thought.
Okay, so everybody who's listening, remove any and all veils preventing us from finding, seeing, and acknowledging our soulmates. Remove all the veils preventing us from finding, seeing, and acknowledging our soulmates. That's working. Jeez, that worked. What's going to happen now? The veil is going to be lifted so that when we do see a person, we do get introduced, we're going to look at that person and subconsciously say, hey, I think you're my soulmate. And then it's up to you to pursue that person and to make it happen. God can only get us together and try and put you in that direction to get you to meet your soulmate. You got to do the rest of it.
Well, yeah. Oh, God. Brain bubble. Oh, my God. Oh, well, I will let you know how it works. And, hey, this may be better than eHarmony.
In this type of area, of course, anything can happen, especially with the law of attraction. You do have to watch for what you're asking for. The best analogy I use is the story of a family in a flood, and they're on top of the house, and the house is up to the roof in water. And Dad says, "God will save us." All of a sudden, here comes a boat. The guy says, "Get in the boat." Dad says, No, God's going to save us." So the boat goes away. Here comes a helicopter. "Get in the helicopter." No, God will save us." So they all drown and die. They go to heaven, and Dad says to God, "How come you didn't save us?" And God says, "Well, I sent a boat and a helicopter." So you gotta watch for the signs, okay? It will be there. You just need to know what the sign is.
Right. Oh, wow, awesome. So, for all of you people that are looking for your divine mates, if it happens within the next week, give me, write me, let me know, and we'll have Chris come on again, because it's time everybody's brought together. Because it's my view that there is nothing more awesome than the two pairs coming together. Your ultimate partner, and whether that's male-female, male-male, female-female, love is what is. And when you come together, you're just unstoppable.
Especially if you get into the situation where you're with your twin flame. There's the soulmate, the soul group. Then there's the actual twin flame. Research I've done on that can be an extremely very volatile relationship, or an extremely calm and perfect relationship.
Oh, God, can I also say, been there, did that one. And now I say, Creator, bring me the one you want me to be with, my divine partner.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, been there. Okay, he's really got it together, I have to say. You just nail it, Chris.
There it is.
So you have a healing process that you actually patented?
Patented in my own mind, maybe, yes. It is something that I did come up with by taking maybe 3 or 4 different courses that I didn't quite resonate with in the whole aspect of them, but I took all the kind of good, cherry-picked a lot of the good things out of them, and I put it all together and developed my own way of doing things that make it very unique to me. Anybody can go take a course in Reiki or Quantum Touch or EFT or something and use it and be successful with it, yes, absolutely. But when you form it to what is going to work the best for you so that you can do the best work healing for somebody, that is just the absolute best scenario, of course. Almost every day, every week, I'm revamping that process a little bit. My guides give me more and more information on how to better it, on how to get to the problem faster, how to find the problem in different ways and get around certain hurdles so that instead of 25 sessions, let's do 5 sessions. So that's the basis of it, and there is nobody else in the world doing this the way I'm doing it. They are my charts. I understand them. If I was to give you my charts tomorrow, you look at these charts and say, what is this mess? You have to understand that the work I'm doing is specific in certain ways towards me. It is designed for me to use to get to the problem faster.
When somebody comes and has a session with you, how long is that, a session?
A session is 1 hour, and we get a lot of work done in 1 hour. You actually get to speak to me and tell me what's on your mind. I'm not going to limit your time with doing certain things like when you go to the doctor's office. We can talk about 5 problems at once. We can do whatever you want to do. We can direct it and focus it to whatever you believe the focus should be sent at. And then we just start asking questions, doing dowsing. What area to work on? What's the stressor? Clear it out. Go again. What's the next area to work on? Find the stressor. Clear it out. And then we get to the point where everything is basically cleared out. Then we start putting things back together. Is your astral body within your aura? Is your pineal gland connected? Is it connected to a wrong source that we need to reconnect back in? It's a lot of different fragmentation that could happen within your soul, in different areas of your body that aren't working properly. So we start putting things back together so they can work properly.
I like it because you're actually working on people, body, mind, and soul.
100%. You have to consider absolutely everything.
So what kind of metaphysical crystalline tools do you actually work with?
The pyramid, the 5-tier pyramid, is the main tool that I work with. There's also a few others that I do use quite often. One of them is a neutralization ring. Now, the neutralization ring is a 13-inch ring. It looks like the size of a basketball hoop, and it's got pointed tines that are inside the circle, and they point inwards. When you stand over this ring, this is going to start to pull negative energies out of your body that are kind of stuck to your aura and within your chakra system. It's going to pull them out, and you're actually going to feel a heavy pulling sensation going through your body as this is happening. A lot of people might feel really off balance, like they're waving back and forth or side to side. Some people feel tingling within their fingers. But this is something that I do use at least once within the session just to do a general clearing for anybody. And I do carry that tool on my website in a smaller form for a personal use. They're only $50. They work fantastic. I sell hundreds of these a month. Another one that I use is called a sun ring, and which is a neutralization ring, but the tines face outwards. And it's plated in gold, 24 karat gold. And the same thing. This one will radiate the energy of the sun, not the heat of the sun. It'll radiate the energy of the sun, because ultimately the sun is just a big chakra. It's a big portal. It'll do that if you place your food on top of it. It'll energize your food. Now, what the sun ring is really unique is that it's also a broadcaster. So if you took, let's say, any type of herb that you use on a daily basis, and you put that herb, that pill within the sun ring, and then you took your 2 index fingers, put it in the sun ring, the energy of that herb is now going to go through your body. So when you do take the herb, it's going to absorb and work at a much higher level. And you can do that with anything. You can write an intent. Find me my soulmate. Put that intent within the ring, and you do it on a daily basis, and it's going to raise that frequency of that intent. So lots of things can be done with that sun ring, and it's only limited really to your imagination.
Very cool tools.
I'll attest, they do work. Everybody I've sold one to, everybody raves about them.
Let's do another healing if we can, and I would like if you would direct it for everyone that has been exposed to radiation.
Yes. Now, there's a lot of different types of radiation. There is radon gas, which is a form of radiation where a lot of people are getting. We're also going to work on any Fukushima radiation. So we're going to do those two things in a single intent to move those out, okay?
Yes.
Here we go. Neutralize, eliminate, remove any and all radon gas radiation and Fukushima radiation within everyone's body. Entire body, entire being. Remove all radon gas and Fukushima radiation. There it goes. That's running. Yeah! Done. When it finishes, it gives me a jolt. Lets me know it's done.
I know, and you grunt. Really cool.
Great way to wake up in the morning.
I'm not going there. All right, so tell us again what your website is.
Website is chriskeller.net, and it's spelled CHRISKEHLER.net. Also, I do have a Facebook page, same name, and the YouTube channel is YouTube/Chris Keller. Check it out.
So if I would call you on the phone and we did a phone session, you would actually get your pendulum out when we were talking, and, you know, what would you do?
Oh, yes. Well, you'd call me, you'd give me a list of the symptoms that you want me to work on, and I would be put into the subconscious focus. And I would just take my pendulum, start asking questions, and it'll direct me. It'll tell me exactly where to work first and what to remove. We take the pyramid, we hold it up to the computer or the phone, whatever you're using, and just move out the energies, And within a few minutes, you're going to start to feel really tired, as if something big has been pulled out of you. You're going to feel things happening. 90% of all people I work with do feel the energy. Some people don't. It doesn't mean it's not working. It just means that your body isn't sensitive to it, and you're not being allowed to feel it. And then sometimes you feel it a couple hours later as a big whoosh going through your body. So that's what we would do, and we just keep on talking through it, and you'll give me some feedback of what you're feeling and if a certain pain is going away or if you're feeling different. And we just keep on going for the whole hour like that until the hour is up or the pendulum says stop.
Now, have you trained other people to be practitioners?
There is a couple people that have approached me, and I do get a lot of people approaching me. I'm very, very cautious of who I take under. I have trained a lady in London, England, who's doing quite well at it.
That sounds pretty reasonable.
Nothing wrong with that. My philosophy is I'm not going to make $1 million off of you. I'm going to make $1 million off a million of you.
I like that. You know, it's you are saying that you want to service everyone and not those that are just very wealthy.
You know what? That's exactly it. My morals, I come from a deep religious Mennonite background, okay? I don't practice that anymore because I don't believe in that. I'm more a spiritualist now. But I do have a lot of morals which say that, you know what, it's not right to take people's money when you don't have to. There are a lot of people who do this type of work out there who are considered charlatans, and they wouldn't think twice about having you take out a loan for their services to do $500 a session. They just don't have any morals. All they want, it's all ego. They just want to make money. It's okay to make money at this and make a living. Everybody has to, and everybody has overhead, and you have to, make up for that. But I don't see any reason to really charge thousands of dollars to do something that somebody can do for free.
Oh, I so agree with you on that. And, I look at it when those people stand before God, boy, the ones that really charge, they're going to have a little discussion that they're going to have to clear up.
I think so. I think so.
For me, I just found the more that I do service work, the better God provides for me.
That's basically it. If you give to the community, you're going to get back, okay? It does work that way. A lot of people say, well, I've done that and it hasn't happened. Well, you have to wait. It just doesn't snap your fingers and it happens. You have to accumulate and you have to go through certain tests and show yourself that you are going to carry on with this. And this is you. It's not you're just doing this to get something out of it. You're doing this because this is you and this is your moral respect to everybody else.
Real quick, we barely touched on it. Explain everybody what Radionics is.
Radionics is what I started doing before I got into using the metaphysical tools, the pyramids and different things. Radionics is the use of frequency. Everything within our body, within our house, within our neighborhood, within the planet has a vibrational rate. Everything vibrates at its own frequency. So when you can isolate those vibrational frequencies, let's say with a health problem, so let's say the liver vibrates at number 5 and a virus vibrates at number 270, if you find that vibrational number is within the liver by doing kinesiology or dowsing or with a radionic device, then you can put these different frequencies that are contained within little vials of water into the machine, and then you press a button and the machine vibrates out the last frequency that you put in. So it's a little tough to get your head around, but it's all working with canceling out or harmonizing different vibrational rates.
And really, I think that's definitely the way we're going to in the future. It's frequencies and vibration, and that's how we're going to heal.
And everything is vibration and frequency, and if you just cancel out a vibration, it doesn't exist anymore. And through quantum entanglement, because your frequency is within the machine, you can be in California, and I have your frequency in Winnipeg within a little bottle of water. Through quantum entanglement, it's as if you're right there in Winnipeg with me having a coffee. So the radionics is very efficient, but quite often when you're using machines, they can get infected with an entity and it cause a problem, and they could work in reverse, or the entity can cause the machine not to work at all. So that is one of the reasons I like to use the tools, because they're pure God energy. When you're working with electrical tools, you're working with a different type of consciousness.
If I wanted to get my blood analyzed. Why would I want to do that?
I brought that on board as more of a toy, okay, and it turned into something that really complements the work that we're doing. When you take a sample of blood from a person's finger, put it on a slide, put it in the microscope, you can see it, view it on the screen, and see the red blood cells. So if you do energy work on a person, sometimes you see the red blood cells actually change. You see them separate, you see them get a little healthier. And that's one reason I bought it, so we can show people that the energy work does work. Now, what I found is that quite often I'll be working on somebody and the pendulum will say, well, there's parasites in the blood. Well, heck, let's take a drop of blood out of your finger and see if there's parasites in the blood. You look in the blood and there are parasites. So it does make confirmation that we are on the right track. It's tangible proof that there is something going on within your body that needs to be dealt with. And people have a good comfort level with knowing that, okay, we looked at things all these different ways and it all points to the same problem. We know what the problem is. Here's how we deal with it. So it's just a very good compliment. And unfortunately, you do have to be in my office to do that. But it is something, if you can search it out, there's a lot of places in everybody's city that people do live blood analysis or dark field live blood analysis that you can probably get it done at.
So they got to come to Canada, to do this?
Only if you dare.
Okay, I got to get my passport renewed. Oh, my. I think we've got, 5 minutes left? Do you have another time to do another quick healing?
We have time. Now, what we're going to run this time, we're going to run negative ions. Negative ions are the good ions that you draw from the earth when you walk barefoot. Okay? Positive ions bad, negative ions good. So we're going to put negative ions into everybody's body to do another general healing. Okay? Here we go. So let's take negative ions and infuse everybody's cells, molecules, atoms, and neutrons with negative ions. Yeah, there it goes. Kabang, like a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, I felt that one too.
And these are all nice subtle energies. They're not going to be overpowering and knock anybody out. If an energy is too strong for somebody, they can go into a little bit of a healing crisis. We don't want that to happen, so we're running just some nice, easy, subtle energies.
And for me, what I felt is just, again, like I was showered in tingles.
That's basically it. Now, the interesting thing with the tools is that when you're using the tools, if you're in a dark room, you can actually see little blue sprites of energy going back and forth between the tool and the person's body. It's a really cool phenomenon, and I've done it for a few people just to see, and it has to be a dark room, but you can see little blue sprites of energy leaving.
And you don't even...
I lost you there.
For all those people that get high, I go, you don't even have to get high to see the sparks.
That's exactly it. A very cheap thrill.
Everybody's going, ooh, and what would it be when we're high?
I want one.
Which is the point. So, once again, how can they catch you, Chris, and set up an appointment with you?
chriskaler.net. Please send me an email. My email address is on my website. If you contact me tonight, I will get a hold of you tomorrow. I'm very easy to get a hold of. A lot of people, when they send an email and I email right back, they go, oh, my God, you got back so quick. And all I can say to that is, well, I'm in business and I need to keep on with my appointments. So I'm very attentive to my clients, and I always want to make sure I do have a good communication with them. So if you email me tonight, tomorrow, I will get back to you very soon.
You're organized, you're efficient, you are awesome.
If you saw my office, you'd think differently, but thank you anyways.
I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope everyone really got some healings. And you may not notice it quite tonight because the energies are subtle, but pay attention to what happens to you this week and what you draw into you. And for those of you who are single that are looking for your divine mates, see if that certain person comes into your life. and be open to it. Expect it. And we'll have to bring you on again, Chris. This is really
I would
fun.
love to be back on. I would love to be back on, Cathy.
Yeah, I love talking to you because it's like talking to me.
Well, when I saw some information about the work you do, I just looked and said, hey, that's basically the same thing I'm doing, so I knew we were going to have a really good time together.
Oh, even down to the words. You know, God, that sounds so dirty. We're going to have a good time together. Yeah. But, you know, and I hope people are more aware and conscious of, you know, there's entities and there's all kinds of icky things out there that can be affecting how you behave and how other people behave. And, you know, cast ye the first stone. When something happens to you personally, don't take it personally, because it really usually doesn't have anything to do with you. You just happen to be the brunt of whatever's going on. And, you know, look at different perspectives. And that's what healing is about. And Chris just gave us all these incredible different healing modalities that are awesome to use. And actually, Chris, when I have challenges, I have a dear friend that has a Radionics machine that I always contact and go, can you help me, please? And since he can't hear that, you know, over the computer, but that's what I'm saying. And it always works. Man, it's amazing.
Yes, it is a very, very efficient machine. You're more than welcome to try an energy healing with me, Cathy, whenever you want.
Tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow. We'll set one up because I won't be that rude.
Wonderful, wonderful.
But I would love to take you on, definitely. And then we can come in and share the experience.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely. So anything else you have to say with what time we have left? And it just may run out of time, but go for it, dude.
Everybody who is experiencing any kind of blockage within their life, whether it's with a relationship, a job, a health problem, I always say to everybody, as I said before, think with your heart what the right thing to do is. If it feels good in your heart, think heart, mind, and that's going to lead you in the right direction. Wow,
and on that heart, mind note, aloha, everybody. We'll catch you next week.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.